Good morning, classes. Nice to meet you again. With me, Ma'am Astrid. Okay, 10th graders, now we are going to have our first chapter. This is the slide about our first chapter. Yes, the first chapter is all about me. Of course, it is about introduction. You know why you should learn about introduction? Because you are the newcomer at this school, and this is the right time for yourself to tell about who you are. Okay, we go to the first slide. Now I want you to read the first chapter. The first page is about what is on this chapter. You are going to have some information about personal information and mention about your personal information, and the information should be shared to your friends. After that, we can also learn about what culture will you learn after this chapter finished. Because talking about culture, you will know more about the habit that what may the foreigners have in their countries. Is it different from us, from Indonesian? Is the habit or culture that you do, is informal or informal, formal way or in informal way. But first of all, before we go further for this chapter, I will tell you about tujuan pembelajaran of this chapter. Tujuan pembelajaran dalam chapter ini dibagi menjadi dua, yaitu tujuan pembelajaran untuk ranah pengetahuan dan tujuan pembelajaran untuk ranah keterampilan. Tujuan dalam pembelajaran dalam aspek pengetahuan, kalian harus tahu pencapaian apa yang dapat kalian buat dan dapat kalian optimalisasikan setelah kalian belajar materi ini. Ini dari sisi akademis pengetahuan. Siswa dapat mengidentifikasi struktur teks dan unsur kebahasaan pada teks pemaparan jati diri sesuai dengan konteks penggunaannya. Yang kedua, siswa dapat menyebutkan fungsi sosial ungkapan-ungkapan untuk memaparkan jati diri. Yang ketiga, siswa dapat membedakan ungkapan-ungkapan yang digunakan dalam memaparkan jati diri sesuai dengan konteks penggunaannya. Jadi, dalam setiap kalimat yang kalian gunakan, kalian akan tahu membedakan ungkapan satu dengan yang lain dan digunakan pada saat kondisi seperti apa. Bagaimana ungkapan untuk memperkenalkan dirimu kepada orang banyak, kepada dua orang, atau bahkan memperkenalkan teman kamu kepada teman yang lain, ya. Nah, jadi harus disesuaikan dengan konteks penggunaannya dan fungsinya apa. Lalu tujuan yang ranah dari keterampilan adalah berikut ini. Siswa dapat merespon teks lisan mengenai pemaparan jati diri. Membuat percakapan tertulis untuk memaparkan, menanyakan, dan merespon pemaparan jati diri. Lalu yang terakhir adalah mendemonstrasikan percakapan pemaparan jati diri. Adapun nanti kegiatan kalian adalah menganalisis fungsi sosial struktur teks, menyusun teks lisan dan tulis sederhana, bagaimana cara memaparkan diri kalian, memperkenalkan diri kalian, bertanya, ya. Tapi harus tetap dalam koridor fungsi sosialnya, struktur penggunaan kata dan teks dalam kalimat, dan unsur kebahasaan yang digunakan itu apa saja, dan harus dengan benar, ya. Nah, ini ya tujuan pembelajarannya ya. Pokok bahasan. Kalian akan belajar apa? Kalau tentang introduction, otomatis tadi teks lisan tulis. Fungsinya ya, memaparkan dan tujuannya untuk menjalin hubungan dengan guru, teman, dan orang lain. Bahkan bila kalian menerapkannya dengan baik, kalian juga bisa berkenalan dengan teman-teman atau sahabat-sahabat kalian yang baru dari negara lain. Pokok bahasan. Kita masuk ke pokok bahasan. Now we go to main materials of this chapter. Of course, you are going to know about what expression you're going to use when you are introducing yourself. First of all, you can say hi, hello as the greeting. And now you start with saying your name. My name is Astrid. I am a teacher. I live in Cibinong. I have a family. I like reading books and gardening. Dan semacamnya. Unsur kebahasaannya sudah pasti kata-kata yang terkait dengan hubungan kekeluargaan, kekerabatan, profesi, pekerjaan, atau hobi kalian. Lalu, kata kerja yang digunakan harus dalam bentuk simple present. Betul sekali. Kalian harus ingat teknik penggunaan to be dan to have. Be ada is, am, are dalam bentuk present. Sedangkan have, to have ada dalam bentuk presentnya, yaitu have dan has. Ingat ya, kalau is, am, are harus diawali, harus mengikuti subjek apa saja. Ya, misalkan I, to be yang mengikuti adalah am. She, to be yang mengikuti adalah is. Sedangkan have atau has, ingat, kalau subjeknya she, he, atau it, maka yang mengikuti adalah has. Sedangkan kapan kita pakai have? Apabila subjeknya Ayu Dewi. Lalu berikutnya kita akan belajar kata tanya. Kapan kita menggunakan what, who, dan which. Pastikan juga kalian pada saat melakukan percakapan lisan tentang introduction, kalian harus benar-benar memahami ucapan, tekanan kata, intonasi, ejaan, dan pada saat pengumpulan tugas, tulisan tangan yang rapi. Berikutnya rujukan kata, yaitu tentang you, your, my, Ayu Dewi, she, he, it, her, him atau his ya, their atau theirs ya. Nah, itu akan bicara banyak tentang pronoun atau kata ganti orang. Nah, topik ini banyak membahas tentang apa sih pesan moralnya? Kita belajar untuk keteladanan tentang perilaku terbuka. Jadi kalian harus belajar untuk bergaul dengan siapa saja, ya, menghargai perbedaan dan juga menciptakan kondisi yang damai. Dunia penuh dengan perdamaian dan kasih, ya. Informasi apa yang biasanya kita gunakan pada saat kita men-share tentang diri kita? What information do we usually share about ourselves or someone's identity? Yes, that could be about name, age, date, place of birth, address, nationality, phone number, and occupation. Occupation means job or profession. And this is about when you are the first time to know about your first your friend's name, yeah. This is the first time you know about your friend's name. So the first thing you should make a question about name, age, date or place of birth, and address. You can say what's your name, what's yours, how old are you, when was you born, where was you born, and where do you live. And about nationality, where are you from? Are you Chinese? No. That is not polite actually to say. Are you Japanese? Are you Chinese? No. Sometimes it is forbidden to be asked. Yeah, you can use the natural one. Where are you from? And asking about the phone number, just say, can I have your phone number? What is your phone number? Okay. Next, about occupation. You want to know about your friend's job? What's your job? What are you? What do you do? What does your mother do? Is your mother a nurse? Is your father an engineer or something? Okay, yes. That is the first thing when you start to make your introduction, asking someone else and share the information. Of course, you have to share your name, how old are you, yeah? When were you born? I was born on, followed by date. I was born in, followed by place. Yes, okay. And then remember, when you are telling about your origin of place or nationality, you can say, I am from Sleman. I am Japanese. No, I am Japanese. I am from Osaka. I am Japanese. Okay? And occupation, you can say, yes, I am a student. I'm a college student. I'm a lecturer. I'm a teacher. Okay? And about hobby, my hobbies are, if there are the writing like this, hobbies, it shows plural noun for your hobbies. Not only one hobby, but mention some of your hobbies. More than one hobbies. You can say, my hobbies are dancing and swimming. Okay? But if my hobby is, you want to mention only the one favorite thing that you like to do, the most like thing to do. Just you can say, my hobby is vlogging or making a YouTube video or something. Okay? Next, short functional text. Okay, after that, you are going to learn to apply your communication. Yes. One day, I will ask you to make some email or letter. It is a kind of short functional text. Email and letter. Email or electronic mail is a kind of shorter letter that is more practical, simple, and efficient. It takes only few seconds to deliver, while letters can take 2 to 3 days to deliver. Furthermore, the receiver or the recipient may reply to your email straight away by online. We don't need to mention the date. It is automatically programmed. We only need to mention the recipient's address in email. Letter, there should be address of the senders on the right. Okay? Yes. Because the sender should be the address of the senders, it is on the top right of your email. Next, functional text, short functional text. There are the similarities between email and letter. When writing both of them, we should use salutation. It means you start your letter by giving the greeting. Yes, to greet, the recipients of the letter. You say, dear Mr. Henry, dear Henry, dear Madam, dear Sir Thomas Stamford. And then the body of letter or email still same. Next, the closing part consists of signature or closing phrase with love, warm regards, lots of love, sincerely yours, faithfully yours, truly yours, best wishes. Okay, remember when you are going to make your introduction, please use helping verb. Sometimes you need to add the information in the sentence by using helping verbs that is used together with the main verbs. What does it mean? It means when you add the helping verbs in a form of auxiliary verbs, it is used to give grammatically information and therefore add extra meaning to a sentence. Okay? So, do you still remember about auxiliary verbs? Okay, auxiliary verbs. What auxiliary verbs actually form? Yes, they're usually formed in passive voice, continuous tense, and perfect tense. Wow, passive voice, yes, and continuous tense, perfect tense. Kalimat pasif, kalimat kejadian yang sedang berlangsung atau terjadi, tengah berlangsung pada saat kita bicara, atau perfect tense, kejadian yang telah disempurnakan pada kurun waktu tertentu. So, what are auxiliary verbs? Here, just like what I've said, it is a kind of to be, to do, and to have. To be, to do, to have are irregular verbs. Can be used as main verbs. Modal verbs are also auxiliary verbs, but they can never function as a main verb. They just put as the addition, not as the main verb. Okay? Because it only helps to modify the main verbs. So you cannot use this modal verb as the main verb. It's never function like that. Okay. Auxiliary verbs. What are they? Can be can, could, may, might, must, shall, should, will, and would. I still remember? Okay. Please read this well, okay? Read this well. Next. For examples in the sentence, auxiliary verbs are: number 1, I'm 16 years old. I have 2 sisters and 2 brothers. Which one the auxiliary verbs? Of course, it is am in 1A and have in 1B. Number 2. 2A, Mr. Wirawan is in the library. B, he has a vast collection of books. So, which one is auxiliary verbs? It is, yes, it is and has. Good. Very smart. And then number 3. What about number 3? Fifi is smart. She has many certificates of achievement. Which one is auxiliary verb? Yes, is and has. Same with number 2, right? And what about number 4? Yeah, number 2, 3, and 4, they are same. They are same, yeah, with is and has, yeah. Okay, number 5, are. Yes, we are interested in art, and we have a lot of things to discuss regarding art. Yes, it is the auxiliary verbs are and have. Yes, good. Okay, remember, you used to be. Here are the explanation. Keep in mind, okay? Okay. I am, you are, we are, she, he is, it is. Okay. To be can be indicate numbers, adjective, adverbs, and nouns. Use have and do for subject I, you, we, they, and plural subjects. Use has and does for subject she, he, it, for singular person or things. And the word have means own, punya, own, which shows possession or object belongs to someone. Okay, Here is the auxiliary verb that use have and also has. Remember, in the positive sentence, subject followed by have or has, and then noun. And in negative sentence, you use subject, do or does. But remember, negative you put not. Yes, negative not plus have plus noun. And then when you make the questions, use auxiliary verbs. You can use do or does, subject plus have or noun, or some like this. For example, do you have any pen? Do you have any book to write? I want to spare my time by reading. Or you want to ask something about his or her possession, like this. Does she have a big house? Does she have a big house? Apakah dia punya rumah yang besar? Okay. This part is a part of exercise. Work in pairs. Fill out the blanks by crossing. Okay, this time is for you to put the answer by crossing. Of course, in this way, you cannot cross directly on your book A, B, C, D, or A, but you can write down the exercise on your book. Okay? Write down the questions all. Number 1 to number 10. By the way, before we go to the exercise, have you understood about all my explanation here? I hope you already understood about it. And we go to the exercise. I hope you will not have any meaningful difficulties. Okay? Now, start for you to write down the questions well on your writing book. Okay, that is enough from me for the explanation. See you, goodbye.